Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for joining us. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter in less than 2 weeks now. Pat Gray Bingo returns. That'll be on the 25th. So Monday the 25th. In fact, Pathead Just Too Muck and Fudge has already submitted her first bingo card. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. So be listening. Make sure you're here with us. It's always fun to strike a bingo, be the first to call, and then you win fabulous prizes selected especially for you. You get whatever you want. $30 worth. We're gonna do it like last year.
Yeah, I gotta get with the crew there, but I think it's $30 at patgrayshop.com. Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to throw in a dozen Kexi cookies every time as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And don't forget, those that aren't familiar, we're going to post the bingo card every Friday leading into the week, so you can print it up and play along. So you want to listen live if you want to participate, and then you call in. Got to be the first one, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, you got to get on Twitter. And I know people say they don't want to be on Twitter. That's fine. Just start a dummy account just so you can print up and you don't even have to have an account to go and print up the bingo card. So there. All right.
Fantastic.
Cool.
You do, though.
You
do have to create an account on it. Instagram will not let you see everything. They'll let you see.
Okay, but that's why I'm saying Twitter, not Instagram.
That's why I said Twitter.
No, you said Instagram.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry.
Instagram won't let you see everything.
Instagram, if you want to see it, you can see it on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. That's everything you wanted to know, probably, and then some on Pat Gray Bingo, which starts 2 weeks from yesterday. Also, yesterday, the White House released its budget plan.
Exciting.
Huh. Okay. So his budget proposal is for $7.3 trillion.
Good. Nice.
$7.3 billion. To spend on defense, federal benefit programs, affordable housing, student debt cancellation, which has been stopped, of course, by the U.S. Supreme Court and continued anyway by Joe Biden. Wow. So he unveiled his election year budget pitch, and it calls for $5.5 trillion in tax increases.
Sure.
$5.5 trillion. Okay.
Insane.
I mean, it's not like we don't already pay way too much. Well, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is like that. In fact, it is that. We pay way too much as it is, and he wants more because he wants to increase the size of this government because he wants to take and take and take from people that he despises, despite the fact that he's one of them now after 50 years of corruption in government. He's one of the wealthy. But will this affect him? Probably not at all. No, probably not. So he'll increase the tax hikes increase from roughly 18% of GDP to 20% of GDP.
Cool.
Even after the IRS collected a record $4.5 trillion in tax revenue. So obviously, this is not about revenue. Because when you get tax cuts, revenue always goes up. Always. It strengthens the economy. It creates jobs. It's just good for the economy. And yet, he wants to crush us anyway.
Yeah, those taxes you're talking about, they're specifically going to go up on overseas profits, I guess. So you'll be going from a 10.5% rate. If you do business overseas, it's called a global tax, whatever, up to 21%. The business tax would go from 21 back to 28. And Medicare taxes are going to go up 3.8 to 5%. They're going to bring in the unrealized income of capital gains on the wealthy. Remember that?
Yep.
I mean, what in the heck? What are you doing? How do you quantify that? And then they had this weird thing. I had to look this up. Step up means... or step up, whatever it's called, on the inheritance thing. It's just like that unrealized capital gains tax. It's not what you sell it at. It's what the fair market value is. I mean, it's
insanity.
Everything.
It can't pass.
It cannot.
It just can't pass. This man is doing everything he can to finish the job of destroying this country. Man.
Yep. And 62%, by the way, I saw a thing. 62% of the people that watched the State of the Union speech, they said that this was his policies will move the country in the right direction. What America are we living in?
Oh, I don't know. People are so stupid. They just believe what the mainstream media tells them afterwards. Oh, well, that was a wonderful speech that showed how great he is, still has new ideas. It's not about how old he is, it's how old your ideas are.
Wait, hold on.
Blah, blah,
He's got
blah,
new
blah.
ideas. Watch yesterday's Pat Gray overtime. You'll see those aren't new ideas at all.
That's for sure.
Oh, he's been recycling them the whole time he's been in office. Oh, price of gas, national average is up quite a bit.
Oh, good.
See that?
Good.
So in mid-January, the national
I've certainly
price,
felt it
yeah,
again.
No kidding. I mean, it just shot up. At the gas station I go by, it went up 40 cents in a week. And so it was 307.
40 cents? Did it really?
Yeah.
Jeez. Is that for regular?
Yeah. So it was 307 was the national average in mid-January. A month ago it was 319, and today it's 340. But things are looking good, according to the people that watch the State of the Union address. Who are you people?
Good. They're great. Speaking of the State of the Union address, got a list of 30 times he lied in that speech.
Just the 30.
Just 30. That's all they mentioned. You know it was more than that, but it's impossible to list every single lie he told in an hour-long speech. But here's the 30 big lies that were caught. Sending money to Ukraine. He claimed Republicans who oppose sending additional U.S. taxpayer dollars to Ukraine are doing so because they want America to walk away from our leadership in the world. Is that what they told you? Is that what they're saying? No, of course not. He's just spinning things. It's untrue. They want to put America first. That's what they want. They don't want him to walk away from America and commit us to all of these wars. He lied about, we talked about this, he lied about Trump's NATO remarks. He said that this was a quote, Vladimir Putin, do whatever the hell you want. Yeah, that's not what he was saying. Here's what he said. You didn't pay? You're delinquent? No, I would not protect you. Because he was asked, will you protect us if we're not paid up? You didn't pay? You're delinquent? No, I wouldn't protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills. That was the context of it. On world security in Ukraine, he claimed the free world is at risk if the U.S. doesn't ship more American taxpayer dollars to Ukraine. Absolutely garbage. The January 6th demonstrations. He, of course, said it posed the gravest threat to American democracy since the Civil War. Okay. It was a riot where a few things got broken. People milled in parade. One of the demonstrators was killed, but nobody else. No one else was killed that day. And that lie continues. He falsely contended the Alabama Supreme Court shut down IVF treatments across the state of Alabama. That's not what the decision said. It ruled that embryos are people with inherent value, not legal property, and they've fixed any problem that would have created with the IVF industry. He claimed the life of Kate Cox, a Texas woman who left the Lone Star State to get an abortion, claimed her life was at risk. Okay. Susan Bain wrote, Cox's now deceased unborn baby was diagnosed with trisomy 18, a condition associated with severe developmental delays. These children can sometimes thrive into their early 20s. Cox was not at risk of dying from the diagnosis, however. Okay, but he made it like if she didn't have that abortion, she was dead for sure. COVID shots and cancer. He claimed COVID jabs are now being used to help beat cancer. What? Huh. 15 million new jobs. That continued lie. It's he obviously conflates the jobs recovery after the COVID shutdown with actual new jobs. They're not new. They just came back. The U.S. inflation rate. He claimed it's the lowest in the world. There's a lot of countries that don't have as high a rate as we do. Consumer confidence. Studies show consumer confidence is soaring. According to Market Watch last month, though, the consumer confidence index fell. Okay. Drug prices. Ending the trend of Americans paying more for prescription drugs than anywhere else. That's false. Reuters recently reported new drugs released by pharmaceutical companies last year were at prices 35% higher than in 2022. He claims he beat Big Pharma. Well, what? He empowered pharmaceutical companies when he unlawfully attempted to mandate private businesses force their employees to receive the COVID shot. They're in bed with Big Pharma. They didn't beat them. They joined them. Student loans. He contended that he fixed student loan programs to reduce the burden of student debt for nearly 4 million Americans. That's not true. His illegal effort just transfers the responsibility of paying back these loans to individuals who never went to college or already paid back their loans. Decreasing the federal debt. It's amazing.
Oh, no, don't.
He claimed he cut the federal deficit by over $1 trillion and has been delivering real results in a fiscally responsible way. Both of those are false, obviously. National debt's risen by more than $6 trillion just since he took office. $6 trillion. And it goes up by another $100 trillion, as we've talked about, every 100 days. Corporations not paying their fair share. Really? Wealthy Americans pay the huge majority of taxes. 10% of Americans pay 90% of the tax bill. Trump's tax cuts, he falsely claimed they overwhelmingly benefit the very wealthy and biggest corporations. Data from the IRS, though, has shown on average all income brackets benefited substantially from the tax reform law, with the biggest beneficiaries being working and middle income filers, not the top 1%. I just lie after lie. The 17th lie, the national debt under Trump. He said that added more to the national debt than in any presidential term in American history. Even PolitiFact admitted that former President Barack Obama accumulated more debt than Trump. The Inflation Reduction Act. He said nobody earning less than $400,000 will pay an additional penny in federal taxes. Remember that claim over and over and over and over. However, estimates produced by the Joint Committee on Taxation predict that the Democrat bill does nothing to bring the economy out of stagnation and recession, but it will raise billions of dollars in taxes on Americans making less than $400,000. He claimed there are 1,000 billionaires in the U.S. There's, 735. He slightly exaggerated. There's only 735 billionaires in America. And what do they pay in taxes? He claims the average federal tax rate for billionaires is 8.2%. Once again, even PolitiFact said that was false. They pay more than 20% on their income. And they pay a different kind of tax, too. It's really hard to compare because usually these people aren't getting salaries like you and I do. They're usually getting capital gains. And the capital gains tax is a second tax. It's an add-on tax. It's a tax on taxes. So that's why those are slightly lower than the income tax. The Ukraine border bill. He negotiated the Biden border boondoggle. He negotiated behind closed doors with Senate leadership, contained the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen. And will bring the border to order, he said. That statement, of course, is ludicrous and everybody knows it. The bill would have exasperated the ongoing situation, made it even worse than it already is. The book bans. He regurgitated the falsehood, the lie that conservatives are banning books. They're not. We've talked about that many times. Couldn't get Lincoln Riley's name, or Laken Riley's. He did get the Lincoln Riley name right. He does know the head coach at USC for their football team. He doesn't know the person who was a victim of an illegal alien. Biden misrepresented remarks given by Trump in response to a January Iowa school shooting, which left one dead, several injured. He said, as a Federalist reported, the shooter flirted with Democrat gender ideology. In his address, though, Biden claimed Trump told Iowans to get over it.
Yeah, we played that whole clip in its context, and that was completely misrepresented by Joe.
Just unbelievable. Second Amendment, this is lie number 26. Sorry, my voice seems to be going already, which is not a good sign. 15 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
The president falsely claimed that a ban on so-called assault weapons doesn't constitute a violation of the Second Amendment. An obvious lie there. He asserted, of course, that he taught the Second Amendment. He does this all the time. Where is that coming from? You didn't teach the Second Amendment for 12 years, for 2 years, for 1 minute. He's never taught this. He's never taught the Second Amendment or the Constitution. He's not a professor. Gaza deaths. He said most of the people killed in Gaza are not Hamas, including thousands of innocent women and children. We suspect that's a really strong lie because it comes from Hamas. And he went ahead and regurgitated that talking point for Hamas. So you're welcome, Hamas. America's prospects challenging China. He claimed the U.S. is in a stronger position to win the competition against China or anyone else for that matter because of him. Really? Does anybody believe that's true? The idea of America. He ludicrously contended that America has never lived up to the idea that we're all created equal. It's just garbage. I mean, on and on and on. So there's 30 that just sprang immediately to mind.
I don't like that guy. I've decided.
What?
I finally decided I got there. I've been on the fence, and now
we're not.
decided.
You're not talking about Joe Robinette Biden, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Are you?
I think I'm there.
That's a little hasty, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Give the man a chance.
Okay.
Give him a chance to do his job. He's not even through his first term yet.
Just hideous.
Oh
individual.
my gosh, it's unbelievable. The media has been very unhappy with Biden's use of the word illegal, of course, from that big speech to describe the killer of Laken Riley. Check out this montage that was done by MRC.
The president is walking back a controversial term he used during his State of the Union remarks. Biden used the word, quote, illegal.
He used the term illegal. He used the word illegal.
He used the word illegal.
He used the word illegals to describe people.
He did use a word that did bother people. Immigration advocates don't want to hear him use the word illegal.
Do you regret using the word illegal to describe immigrants last night, sir?
I kind of jumped as well when I heard that word.
We normally don't use that word because people are not illegal.
To be clear, no human being is illegal.
Congressman Chuy Garcia saying he was extremely disappointed to hear the president use that word illegal.
Joaquin Castro has said this using that word and illegal, dehumanizing is problematic. What did you make of that?
That's probably true. He probably should have used a different word.
Like Joe Biden's ad libs in the past, this one kind of got him in some trouble, particularly with Democrats who don't use the word illegal, call undocumented workers.
Saying to the broad Democratic base, I hear you, I hear your concern, and I shouldn't use that word is a smart thing to do.
Yesterday, Biden attempted to rectify this by apologizing for using that word to describe an undocumented immigrant.
You used the word illegal, so you regret using that word.
Yes.
He understands or understood the damage that he caused, and he was very eager to make amends.
You may be wondering, why does this matter, right? It's just a word. Who cares? Well, his language matters. The words we use to describe each other matters. And unlike Trump, Biden understands that words can shape our reality and that words can have real-world and dangerous consequences.
Who is this person?
We have another clip of her coming up later. That's Kara Swishover at MSNBC.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth about the word illegal, but guarantee you...
but did they care that he got her name wrong?
No, they don't care about
the
Laken
victim?
Riley.
They don't care at all.
People are Just hideous.
They couldn't care less. That's your takeaway from that? He used the word illegal. So what?
No human being is illegal.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. And just so you know, Biden didn't apologize for using that word illegally.
No, they made that
illegal because they want you to understand he did not apologize. Right. Here's White House spokesperson Olivia Dalton to tell you about it.
President Biden apologized for calling Laken Riley's killer an illegal. Does he feel like he needs to apologize to illegal immigrants for calling them what they are, or using the term illegal?
Well, first of all, I want to be really clear about something. The president absolutely did not apologize. There was no apology anywhere in that conversation. He did not apologize.
Okay.
He used a different word. I think what we should be really clear about is the facts. So, in addition to the fact that the president did not apologize, I want to make another thing clear. The president spoke directly to this in the State of the Union address not 4 nights ago when he spoke passionately about knowing what it means to lose a child and extended his deep grief and condolences to Laken Riley's family in front of the entire country in the House chamber. And beyond that, I think it's unconscionable that there are some people who are playing politics with this young woman's tragic murder.
Are you kidding me? He brought it up.
Particularly at a time when, let's not forget,
he's the one who did it.
House Republicans are standing in the way.
I can't take it anymore. I can't. He's the one who used it in his speech. Yeah. He's the one who politicized her, and he couldn't so much as get her name correct. Incredible. Okay, so
can I just? All right, they've been doing these press gaggles on Air Force One forever. Do cameras not work on the airplane? Is that like?
For some reason, there have been audio only.
It's sensitive material around the aircraft, inside the aircraft.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's bullcrap because I just saw a clip of the MSNBC dude who hung out with Joe on Air Force One, and they were in that meeting room.
Yeah.
So put the stupid gaggle in the media.
Yeah, true. I agree.
Anyways.
But that everybody has the same clearance in the press room.
Okay.
But apparently he regrets using the word illegal, but he wasn't apologizing for using the word illegal.
You got it, see?
Huh. All right. So yesterday he was asked if he'd be issuing executive orders on the border.
Oh, yeah. That'll take care of it.
Yeah, sure.
President, when is an border executive action coming? An executive action on the border.
Counting on the border action happened by itself. They're passing it.
But Congress can't come to an agreement.
Well, they haven't yet. They haven't yet. I'm helping them.
Okay.
Did you? Okay, so here's what we have. We have this decrepit Marxist pedo in there, and on day one, he issues how many? 94 executive orders to weaken border security. Now he plays the game. You want to talk about playing politics? I wish the Republicans would get on board and send me a bill. Hey, dumbass, why don't you rescind your executive orders that you've already used to decimate the border? I can't take this guy. Can't take this guy. And by the way, if you think it's absurd on a federal level, did you see where in California they've got a bill that's been introduced? I don't know if it's going to pass or not, but it seeks to grant illegals convicted of serious and violent crimes with legal assistance, such as helping them avoid deportation. Remember, these are illegals who have been convicted of serious and violent crimes. California wants taxpayers to pay for their defense. Make it stop. Make it stop.
It's one of the reasons I keep saying I don't mind if they switch to Gavin Newsom. I think he's a worse candidate than Biden is. Incredibly. This was from Chris that Biden discussed troops on the Polish border yesterday.
Oh,
he tried.
He tried to discuss.
He tried.
Huh. Okay. Here he is just trying to discuss troops.
On Poland, Mr. President, would you support increasing U.S. troops at the Polish border?
There's no need for more troops at the There's no need for more troops at the Polish.
He has no idea.
But I'm meeting with the I'm meeting with the Polish leader tomorrow.
Do you know what you might talk about with him tomorrow?
Yeah, but I'll talk to him about it. Okay. Thank you.
I think that reporter tried to catch him in talking about increasing troops on the Polish border, but not the U.S. border. I bet that's what that was.
I bet it was. Yeah. But he couldn't even understand the question.
Right.
He didn't have any idea what she's asking. But also, what gets Joe Biden all juiced up?
Oh, no, what? Little kids. Little girls.
Boy. Is that what it is?
No, it's not little kids. No.
Okay. All right. Here he is.
On board Air Force One, the president and I talked about how energized he is to take on Donald Trump, his likely opponent. Biden told me every time he hears Trump speak, he gets, quote, juiced up.
Oh, wow.
What is that?
Okay. Every time he speaks, gets us juiced up. I'll tell you that. Every time Joe Biden speaks, because he's so bad and so hell-bent on destroying this country. Yesterday, he was out giving speeches again, and he informed us. This is weird.
You know what?
Well, you remember his predecessor, right?
Yeah, Donald Trump.
Donald
Trump.
You might be a little different than that.
Oh, is it not Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here he is.
Not long ago, my buddy John McCain passed away. My predecessor friend that's how he ended his career.
Predecessor.
My predecessor. But that's just because, who sent that in? To make fun, to mock this man's stuttering problem that he's had his entire life.
That guy right in there, I think it was Chris.
You sent that in too,
I'm sorry.
Chris?
That was
me. Wow. You are insensitive.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You are a troglodyte. You are just a bad person.
Yeah.
Because he's had a stuttering problem his whole life, okay?
So the stuttering gets him to forget who was his predecessor?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Don't do that again, bro.
I mean, sometimes he's dehydrated.
Oh.
But he's always got that stuttering problem that he has dealt with his entire life.
I know Keith brings this all the time about, different timeline. Could Biden be thinking about a different timeline?
No, maybe.
When McCain won the presidency.
Oh, okay. And he just slipped that into our dimension.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are his earlobes different in that other dimension?
There's so much.
So much. It hurts. It really hurts.
And while speaking yesterday, his brain broke again.
Shocker.
Tremendous amount of things you can cut. Let me be precise. Tremendous amount of things you can do, not cut. He said, but the bottom line is, he's still at it.
Go away.
Who is?
Just go away.
But the bottom line is, he's still at it. You can cut. No, do. You can do cut.
That's interesting.
You can cut, do.
Because there's been a lot of clips from the past 30 years making the rounds on the internet the last couple days.
Yeah.
Of old Joe Biden, aware of his surroundings, Joe Biden, talking about all the places you should cut the budget.
Yeah.
And so I think old Joe Biden slipped to the forefront there, and he forgot he's the tool of the Marxists that are running his administration. He thought, oh, no, you can't cut. And that's why his brain froze up there.
But also along those lines, he was talking about Trump wanting to cut Social Security.
Which is not true.
As late as 2018, he was trying to get us to cut Social Security benefits to save Social Security benefits. For 40 years, he's advocated cuts in Social Security. Now, if you want to cut Social Security, you're evil?
You're Donald Trump, I guess, according to Joe.
Interesting. Then, of course, after all of this, he left the stage so vigorously. I mean, this man, don't tell me that there's something wrong with him. He's in perfect condition. Look at that. Did you see him run to the... where do you think you're going,
honestly, bro?
You're going to run into the flag in the back? Oh, a fake jog. Again. Wow. There's just certain things he can't not do. And that's one of them.
He's so bad at everything.
Oh, my gosh.
Just go away, old man.
Does he have OCD? Must he do these things to be okay in his head afterwards? Or I don't know.
If you're just listening, you missed another fake jog that shows...
But he's going like 5 feet.
Less than that.
He's disappearing behind the curtain.
It's so He's just an awkward human being.
Yep.
See, when somebody gets to this point in life,
we're out of time.
Oh no, where's our music, bro?
Yeah.
This is Pat Gray, the Blaze Radio Network.
Let's get to some tweets here. Frank Johnson's alter ego tweets, "Welcome to United States Socialist Republic." Oh, or USSR. Huh. Okay.
And recycle that name. Okay.
That's nice.
Good for us.
Jimmy Dimples, the only consumer confidence soaring is the confidence that prices are going to go up even more. Eric White, rural rage.
Oh, nice. That works out nice.
Government funding, stealing your money to share with others. And see, the thing is, they don't even really share it with others.
Right.
They squander it on their own selfish agendas. Patrick Hill tweets, "Yesterday, I saw where Zelensky rejected peace talks after the Pope called for them. Can't have the Pope trying to derail the money train." It's really true. Yeah, the fact that he won't sit down at the table with Russia and try to work this thing out is it's bizarre to me.
See, gosh, I mean, remember, Boris Johnson went over there at the behest of Joe Biden. Stop peace.
Right.
Just snatched peace right out of the jaws of peace and stuff.
Or did they snatch war out of the jaws of peace?
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's something. I don't know.
Nailed it.
They snatched something.
And
we know that.
And so now when you get so much money coming your way, why would you want peace?
Why would you? I mean, billions and billions coming in from all over the world. It's great for them. It's great. If you don't care about your people, incredible. Inconceivable Sasquatch, high taxes, illegals coming across the border, high gas prices, giving Ukraine money we don't have. I think a collapse and reset is what we need. America needs a dump button. Yeah, true. Jeffy is a national treasure.
I'm there.
Tweets, a president with dementia should be called illegal.
Right, that's what I started to say before the break. It's like at this point in your life, you aren't supposed to be going out in public as often. You know, maybe you go to the bank.
Yeah.
Right? You go to the doctor. You go have breakfast at McDonald's. But you aren't running the United States of America and then asking for even 4 more years on top of that.
Yeah.
Go away, bro.
I mean, I know we've made this point many times, but can you imagine? The guy wins in a year from now, let alone 4 years from now.
Seriously.
Where is he going to be mentally? Jeez. People, please, for the love of heaven. Later in the day yesterday, he was meeting with a group of supporters, and for some reason, as he does so often, he turns around to, I don't know, whoever's in the room that is the boss of him and asks them for permission to take questions.
So bad.
Watch this.
Anyway, am I allowed to take any questions?
Are you allowed?
What are you laughing at?
Anybody here to stay?
That's your guy. Now watch this. Watch what the handlers do. They escort the press out and they pull the feed. Look at that.
I guess the answer was no. No, you're not, stupid. And you weren't supposed to ask that question. So they just took care of it for him.
Mm-hmm. Who's really running this country?
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Who knows? Who knows who's running it? And the stupidity of people to laugh at all this stuff.
That's his supporters.
Really? That's funny to you? It's the president of the United States. He's asking for permission to answer your questions right now. Seriously? You think that's funny? All right. Also yesterday, he was asked if he's had that come to Jesus meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu yet.
Have you scheduled the come to Jesus meeting with Bibi Netanyahu?
No.
Do you plan to, sir?
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Okay, that changed a little bit. They were going to have a come to Jesus meeting when he's talking tough to his colleagues. But now, we'll see what happens.
Actually, if you were being truthful, I bet it's Bibi won't take my calls at this point. Now, who knows? But yesterday, Netanyahu said, and I mean, this is bottom line is this. He said, quote, it's either Israel or Hamas. Right? I mean, which do you want?
Yeah.
You can't have both.
Yes.
You cannot have both.
The protesters in this country have made their choice. Mm-hmm. It's Hamas for them, for so many of them. I mean, they're trying to shut down the United States of America so that they can shut Israel down from trying to eliminate a serious threat to their very existence.
Do you remember about a week and a half ago? It was a week and a half ago when Joe Biden said, I think we're going to get a ceasefire this weekend.
All right.
Yeah, I think we'll get a ceasefire by Monday. Well, that was last Monday.
Yeah.
I ain't getting no ceasefire, bro.
It was 8 days ago already. And then when he said it, it was, 3 or 4 days before that. So he doesn't know what he's talking about anyway. No. In fact, just to kind of prove that point, somebody compiled, he talks about, watch me. When people ask him, are you too old to keep going? Why? What about America's concerns that, you're sliding, you're slipping? Watch me. He says that all the time. So somebody took him up on it. They've been watching, and they compiled a montage of some of the things they've seen. Now, this is obviously we can't play it in its entirety, but I thought we'd just play a little bit of the 2 hours and 23 minutes that have been put together about this guy screwing up, freezing, stuttering. It's just
have we pulled any
lifelong. I've got it right here.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
It's too long to pull.
Yeah.
I mean, it would take up all the space on our hard drive. So I thought, I'll play some of the audio, and you can get an idea of what is going on with this man right now, who continually tells us, watch me. Watch me.
Look, here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Let me say this simply and clearly.
Okay.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Mm-hmm.
All men and women created by you know the thing. You know how we talk about it. Are we the people? Right. Folks, we gotta, it's just, but you gotta, I mean, we gotta reassure, look, here, my message to everybody I talk to, is play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The
Wait, what?
Make sure the kids hear words. I got a lot of, I got hairy legs.
Yeah,
that
one of my favorites right here. That turn
blonde in the sun.
In the sun.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down. Yeah. So it was straight and then watch
very
the hair.
Very sexy.
Come back up again.
That's a pedophile.
They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry?
I love kids jumping on my lap.
We know.
Okay.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Uh-oh.
There's a, during World War II, where Roosevelt came up with a thing. Was totally different.
Totally different, that thing.
He called it the World War II. He had the War Production Board.
War Production Board.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. $1.2 billion in overtime was denied for hourly workers who were not unionized. $1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store in a supermarket.
Oh, no.
You control the guy or the woman who runs brings out the carts on a forklift.
Okay.
What happens? They make you management.
What?
Bro.
What?
Don't
so
ask.
Would you like to say a couple words?
Here's Jill.
Am I supposed to speak now, or is Sharon supposed to speak?
She said that.
I don't want to get in trouble here.
Oh, man.
Oh,
holy cow.
It's me. Okay. Well,
unreal. Now,
there's that great philosopher, and he talked about Jill puts notes up on my.
Don't do it.
Wait, the great philosopher. There's a great philosopher that. And I guess this great philosopher talked about Jill putting notes up on his mirror.
Think that's where. No, I think he's saying that she put a. Never mind. I'm not.
Well, this is what he said. There's a great philosopher, and he talked about Jill puts notes up on my mirror. This is great stuff.
My mirror when she wants me to where I shave to get messages across to me. And what presidents say matter.
A former vice president suggests the black community lacks diversity of thought.
We choose truth over facts.
Biden complimented the town before incorrectly identifying which state he was speaking in.
Joe Biden forgot he was in a video live stream and abruptly walked off camera.
And I spent an hour and a half today on the telephone.
Okay.
I mean, on what we're doing right now on camera.
Gosh, she's so good.
Biden making a series of unusual rhetorical detours at the town hall dedicated to health care.
Imagine what would have happened if, God forbid, Barack Obama had been assassinated after becoming the de facto nominee.
Right, that would have been
first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright. And clean and nice-looking guy.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. It don't have nothing to do with Trump.
Oh, wow.
If you notice, I have more people supporting me in the black community that have announced for me. The only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. A whole range of people. My point is...
That's not true. The other one is here.
I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP's endorsed me every time I've run. Come on.
The NAACP does not endorse candidates for political office at any level.
That's
How many unsafe bridges you still have here in the state of Iowa? And I was just in Ohio because they have more. It is important that Iowa and Nevada have spoken, but look, I love this place. Look, what's not to like about Vermont in terms of the beauty of it?
He was in New Hampshire at the time.
Look, tomorrow's Super
Thursday.
And I want to thank you
Tuesday.
all.
Okay.
I tell you what, I'm rushing.
So it wasn't Super Thursday? Because you could confuse that. A lot of times we do Super Thursday, but apparently this particular case was a Super Tuesday event. That's weird. Isn't that weird? That's
aren't I?
Strange.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Kingswood Community Center.
Oh, thank you. That's not Kingswood Community
That's the
Center.
one down I used to work. As a joke.
That's the one down I used to work. Oh my God.
You didn't know where we were. Anyway, business is realizing they've got a price in the carb. They have to
price in the carb. You know, it's like I pay a lot of attention to the carbs that I take in, but that's a diabetic thing. I guess he's
price in the price of carbon.
Carbon.
So there's so much, I think.
Not carbs.
Anyway,
carbohydrates.
Look,
anyway,
one more question here.
Yeah.
Is it too late to aggress
the
climate change?
He's speaking to Al Gore here, and they've got a split screen, and Gore is so confused. He's just baffled by what this buffoon is babbling.
I'm so glad to hear you talking about that as eloquently as you do, Joe.
Me too.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
Okay, well, just a couple of examples. That's 5 minutes into this thing. 5 minutes. It goes on for 2 hours and 23 minutes. We're doing that? Is that scheduled for overtime today?
Not necessarily today, but
sometime.
I think in chunks, maybe here and there.
Yeah,
we need to lay out some of that stuff at the end of overtimes coming up.
I will look for specific instances, and I'm sure there are some here that we just didn't know about. I haven't watched the entire 2 hours yet.
Wait, this is not part of your documentary series? The 2 hours?
No, not yet. If it were a documentary, I'd watch it, though. That's for sure. The Stupidity of Joe Biden. Coming up on Netflix.
For real?
I'd love to see
it.
it.
If it's not associated with this show, I'm not taking extra time to pay attention to this old man.
Oh, I'd watch a 2-hour presentation of all the, especially things we didn't know about. I mean, there's some things in here that I'm sure that we haven't seen and can't wait to see them. And maybe we'll compile those because there's a lot of old standards here that you're very, very familiar with.
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, this is unbelievable. Watch me. How dare he even say that? Yeah, that's the problem. You incredible buffoon. That's the problem. We have been and continue to watch you. That's how we know that you're incapable of doing this job. But as 2024 heats up here, in the campaign, and we now know it's down to the two of them, really. Liberal talking head, Kara Swisher. We played her earlier in the show. Didn't know who she was. This is the person, right?
Yep.
She's got some advice for Joe on how to talk about Trump.
If he's going to be shameless, which is his greatest asset, the shamelessness of him, is then Biden has to get in there very hard and go rapist, racist, fascist, over and over and over again. Rapist, and then the trials are happening at the same time. He's just had to pay, he's just $93 million poorer right now, and just hammer it in with those three things, rapist, racist, fascist.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Thank you. That's my...
Okay. So real quick, I don't know who was on MSNBC. The hair threw me off. That was Kara Swisher, though, yes.
Okay.
So
the other one wasn't. I was thinking, that doesn't look like the same woman.
Yeah, I don't know. Rapist, racist, fascist. I'm sorry. Tara Reid is on the phone. A compilation that could last for days is available on the racism of Joe Biden. And fascist, just look at how he's running this administration.
Yeah. Ignoring the Supreme Court, does whatever he wants, just keeps doing it.
But no, that's what he's got to say about Trump. Okay, I tell you, these people suck.
They're just his propaganda arm. That's all the mainstream media is.
Yes, they are.
Meanwhile, Representative Nancy Mace was on with George Stephanopoulos.
I don't think we're going to have time for this one here. It's a really long interaction. It's over 2 minutes long.
Okay.
So she was on.
We'll play that afterwards.
Yeah, and so along those same lines because you can see now, based on that clip, and what Stephanopoulos does here, now apparently the way they're going to go about describing Donald Trump for the rest of this year is as a rapist. So buckle up, because that's now the angle that they're going to take off of this E. Jean Carroll stuff.
My gosh.
And that is
These
now
people are
your talking point
despicable.
for the next 6 months. Yeah.
Despicable.
And so she handles, I'd be interested to get your thoughts on this exchange between the two. Let's put it that way.
It's interesting, too, that they're going back to the Russia election interference playbook, too. They're retreading that. Department of Homeland Security and the FBI held a secret meeting with election officials about the threats posed by Russian threat actors and how those might manifest in the 2024 election. Because they, after they've been spreading all these false claims about Russian interference in the past 2 election cycles, they're going to try it again, because apparently last time it worked. We'll see if it does this time. Misinformation, disinformation, you're going to hear that all the time as they apply it to Trump and Republicans and MAGA Republicans. Okay. They're going to trot out the same garbage. We can't let it work. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Sharing some tweets with you from Lone Wolf 2965. How dare you call someone who entered the country illegally, remains here illegally, and committed numerous illegal acts an illegal? Exactly. It's preposterous. Rodney in Virginia, I'm offended President Biden used the word Americans. He should have said people of the country on earth. Or maybe you could refer to the North American continent or the, Western Hemisphere, something like that. From Bulldog Mama, words matter, like white supremacists and MAGA extremists.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Thank you.
Not a spooky dude. Poor old Joe has, his stutter has caused him to be wrong on almost everything over the last 50 years of his political career. Yeah, it is unfortunate. Nodak Trumplican, is stuttering a side effect of being butt stupid? In his case, maybe. Jeffy's #1 fan. Seriously, what is the draw to this guy? Who says, let's go hear Biden's wisdom? I don't know that anybody's ever said that. I don't think those words have ever been uttered on this planet. So the left is now trying to paint Donald Trump as a racist. They want that desperately, and they're doing everything they can. We're going to, over the next little while, this is going to take a while because we'll do it 10 minutes at a time, maybe in overtime. I think you said starting Monday, you're going to play 10-minute clips.
Yeah, so you started to play that.
Joe Biden. A lot of it is racism.
It's going to take us it's probably going to take us 3 weeks.
Jeez.
To go through that entirety of showing how brain dead Joe Biden is.
It's just a stutter, though.
I meant that.
It's just a stutter.
Highlight his stutter.
But Nancy Mace was on with George Stephanopoulos, and here's what happened there.
Yes, this morning. And you've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
Well, I will tell you, I was raped at the age of 16. And any rape victim will tell you, I've lived for 30 years with an incredible amount of shame over being raped. I didn't come forward because of that judgment and shame that I felt. And it's a shame that you will never feel, George. And I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential rape victim. I'm not going to do that.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question about Donald Trump.
No, you are shaming me.
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Right.
Donald Trump has been found liable for rape by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that rape by a jury.
He hasn't been found criminally liable, and that's what you're talking about. Yeah, in a civil case, which made 0 sense, George. Made no sense. Plus, he wasn't convicted of anything criminally. And if this was a criminal offense, wouldn't they have gone after him for that? If that rape really happened, the guy should be tried. I mean, that's pathetic. And did you pay any attention to the allegations involved that were absolutely preposterous? It's just preposterous. And now here he is trying to shame an actual rape victim. Amazing. See the rest of this.
Victim of that rape by a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case, number one. Number two.
Thank you. Oh,
I live with shame. And you're asking me a question about my political choices, trying to shame me as a rape victim, and I find it disgusting. And quite frankly, E. Jean Carroll's comments when she did get the judgment, joking about what she was going to buy, it makes it harder for women to come forward when they make a mockery out of rape, when they joke about it.
Does it make it harder for women to come forward when they?
It makes it harder when other women joke about it, and she's joked about it. I find it offensive, and I also find it offensive that you're trying to shame me with this question.
I'm not trying to shame you.
Are. In fact, I have dealt with this for 30 years. You know how hard it was to tell my story 5 years ago when they were doing a fetal heartbeat bill and there were no exceptions for rape, incest, or rape or incest in there? I had to tell my story because no other woman was coming forward. No rape victims were represented. And you're trying to shame me this morning.
I'm just asking.
And I find it offensive, and this is why women won't come forward.
Right. Women won't come forward because they're defamed by those who perpetrate rape.
And that's what you're doing.
They are judged and they're shamed, and you're trying to shame me this morning. I think it's disgusting.
I'm not shaming you at all.
I told my story. It took me 25 years to tell my story. I was judged for it. I still get judged for it today.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
Wow. Good for her to continue to just hold his feet to the fire on that. That was nicely done. And he deserves every second of that. And then some. Wow.
Yeah, I would like to know.
Wow.
I've been looking online for a longer context of that. I want to know, because just play the first 10 seconds of that before Nancy Mace starts talking. I just want to just pay attention to this George Stephanopoulos intro here. I'm trying to figure out what he's referring to, the testimony you just saw there. Play this.
Yes, this morning. And you've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
Okay, there. Okay.
Well,
all right,
I will tell you.
We're done. Okay, so, what is he referring to there? The testimony we just saw. Because I'm trying to figure out where was the first place Nancy Mace's rape was mentioned in this conversation. Did she bring that up? Because she said, you're trying to shame me as a rape victim. I'm just trying to figure out, was there a package ahead of that said that? I don't know. But yeah, she handled it well. I'm just trying to figure out who was the first one to bring that up into the conversation. But, I mean, get ready, because the next 6-7 months here, that is going to be the angle of the left against Donald Trump.
It's a talking point. They're going to try to use that against him. Yeah, for sure, because they're shameless and they're despicable.
Yes, they are.
Yesterday, we talked about Liz Cheney and the January 6th Commission holding back evidence that would have clearly exonerated Donald Trump.
Oh, boy, yep.
Jeez. His calling for the National Guard, 10,000 National Guard troops to be available to protect the Capitol building, which they didn't want to do. So keep that in mind for a minute. And remember this testimony from Cassidy Hutchinson, who worked at the White House under Trump, and she was the star witness for the J6 committee.
Yeah, remember this?
She said she was told that President Trump attacked the driver of the Beast. Remember that? Remember how preposterous that he supposedly he's riding in the presidential limo, and he dives over the seat and grabs the steering wheel.
That's right.
Trying to force the driver to take him to the Capitol building.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, this clip details that from a couple years ago during the J6 testimony.
Strong, a very angry response to that. Tony described him as being irate. The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now." To which Bobby responded, "Sir, we have to go back to the West Wing." The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm. Said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel.
Sure.
We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol."
Yeah. But
Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Renato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
His clavicles. Okay. Okay. So, wow. So there was an update to this.
Oh, was an update to that?
Yeah, just a little bit of an update to this from yesterday.
Okay.
House Republicans finally got their hands on some important information. The driver said, here's what the driver said. This is Bobby, the Bobby referred to, I guess, by her. The driver said, Mr. Trump never lunged for the steering wheel or physically accosted the agents, contradicting the most sensational and hotly disputed elements of testimony given to the House January 6th committee by a White House aide. The transcript of the driver is the first extensive eyewitness account of what happened in the armored vehicle to be made public. I did not see him reach, the Secret Service driver told investigators. He never grabbed the steering wheel. I didn't see him, lunge to try to get to the front seat at all. What stood out was the irritation in his voice more than his physical presence. The driver's transcript adds detail to one of the most scrutinized episodes of January 6th, 2021. The transcript was never released publicly by the J6 committee, which entered into an agreement with the Secret Service regarding 12 interviews to avoid disclosing privacy information for official use only information, intelligence and law enforcement, sensitive records, and raw intelligence information.
Why would Liz Cheney and the J6 committee hold that information back? Seems kind of important.
Why indeed? Isn't that fascinating? I mean, it was preposterous from day one, and we all knew it. Donald Trump did not dive over the... Plus, there's that divider. In limousines, there's a divider there where you can get some privacy and you can close it shut. I mean, he went over that, too? He went over all of this to get to the wheel? Come on.
But again,
it's asinine.
Just to clarify here, that was information that was withheld from the public by the J6 committee because they had an agenda. They wanted to make sure that Donald Trump looked as bad as possible. So now that the House is controlled by Republicans and they can access these documents, we see confirmation of the request for National Guard assistance.
10,000
President offered, President Trump. We have this eyewitness testimony that says not a chance this happened inside the Beast. And lots of patheads, by the way, are chiming in on Twitter to remind us of a couple of things here. Trump wasn't found guilty of or liable of rape, of sexual assault, and lots of tweets on this one. And this is so true. Thank you for the reminders, guys. Lest we forget, Old Snuffleupagus, George Stephanopoulos, was part of the White House war room crew that defended Clinton from the bimbo eruptions.
Oh, my gosh.
Bimbo eruptions.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
Greatest audience right here.
Yeah, it's a great point. That is a great point.
Yep, so save it, George.
And do you remember how she was treated? The victim in that whole scenario, Monica Lewinsky, how was she treated during that time? You know, she was 21. You talk about power dynamic. She's an intern at the White House. He's, 52, I think, at the time. She's 20, 21. And she was made the bad person in that whole thing. And yes, George Stephanopoulos participated in all of that. Now he's trying to shame a rape victim for supporting Donald Trump. My gosh. From those preposterous allegations that at Barney's or Bergdorf Goodman, Bergdorf and Goodman, where the dressing rooms are always locked, where there's attendants always there, nobody saw it, nobody heard it. He apparently had access to the keys. I don't know how that worked, where he dragged her in and raped her right there in Bergdorf Goodman. Okay, all right, yes, we all buy that. And then she told no one. She did nothing. She's joked about it since, as Nancy Mace talked about.
One other loose end here, thanks to Tarsky 200. He says, Keith, you're correct. You're missing about 45 seconds of the preceding introduction from George. Stephanopoulos sets up the concept of rape by playing Nancy in the... So that's the testimony. So he absolutely was 100% trying to rape shame Nancy Mace as a victim.
For sure.
So the testimony that he was referring to in that question...
Was hers.
So he 100%
That's crazy.
Did this.
Just crazy.
Just insidious.
So he brought it up.
Yes.
My gosh. You talk about despicable and shameless. These are words that don't go anywhere near far enough to describe these a-holes.
I tell you, this world sucks,
wow.
man.
All right. Let me tell you about Preborn. You know, there are things that we can contribute that are positive in this world, and one of them is contributing to Preborn to try to save the lives of babies in the womb. They are so great. We love the ministry of Preborn. They have saved hundreds of thousands of babies over time. And how do they do that? They do that by empowering expectant mothers in crisis. They help them choose life by showing them ultrasounds. It's $28 to show an expectant mother the ultrasound. Now, you know that she's been pressured by everybody in her life, no doubt, to go ahead and have the abortion, wipe that from her life, and start all over again. And they're continually told, it's a clump of cells, honey. It's just a clump of cells. Don't worry about it. Well, Preborn shows them otherwise. And whether or not they choose to keep the baby afterwards or give the baby up for adoption, at least they've chosen life. And that's so critical. And then after they do choose life and realize that that's their child, that's a human baby, Preborn goes into action for the next up to 2 years to help the mother with baby formula and diapers and all the things she's going to need, the support she needs to get through that time period. That $28 donation could save a life. Maybe you could do $28 a month if you're in that position. Whatever you can do, go to preborn.com /Pat, or you can donate by dialing pound 250, then say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or preborn.com /Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Talked at all about what's going on in Haiti?
We have not. No.
What a crazy situation. They virtually have no government right now.
Right. Oh, I'm moving to Haiti.
You might want to rethink that just a bit. Just a bit. Wow. I mean, you want to go pretty far right on that political spectrum so that you have maximum freedom. But I'm not sure you want to go that far to where there's anarchy, because that's what's happening. I mean, virtually non-existent government, gang murders, dead bodies left in the street. Nobody will go pick them up because the violence that's going on. So, because there's people just laying dead in the streets all over the place, the residents in the area go out and burn the bodies because nobody's picking them up. Oof. It's just absolute chaos. So bad, the prime minister who left can't get back. It's just too dangerous for him to fly back to. He was trying to fly back over the weekend. Instead, they diverted the flight to Puerto Rico. An amazing situation. And I don't know. We're probably going to be the ones that have to clean it up, I suppose, because we're the world police officers. So that's our responsibility. Take care of everybody else's situation. So just be ready for that. Man. 888-900-3393. We got our own problems in this country to deal with. Crime is on the rise. And there's understaffing of police departments. Check this out.
Design. That's what liberals wanted.
Right.
They wanted fewer cops.
Exactly.
So there you go. You got them.
The cops were evil, so we were going to eliminate and defund the police officers. Okay, whatever. Let's see how that's working out in Pittsburgh, for instance. Check this out.
Rick, what was the big takeaway today?
Yeah, Susan, residents of the city will see a major change in the way police respond. They will no longer respond to calls that aren't considered in-progress emergency. That means calls like criminal mischief, theft, harassment, and most burglary alarms will all be handled by an enhanced telephone reporting unit. That means residents will file a police report over the phone. Officers will not respond unless it's an emergency. Also, between the hours of 3 a.m. and 7 a.m., there will be no officers at any of the 6 stations throughout the city.
Good time to
Call
commit crime,
boxes
then.
that link directly to 911 have been installed for people to use in case of an emergency. And during the overnight shift, there will be as few as 20 officers to cover the entire city.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Congratulations, Pittsburgh. Your police department has just telegraphed the best time to commit crimes. Oh, my gosh.
That all seems suboptimal.
Yeah, I took notes for you. Pittsburgh criminals or potential criminals. 20 officers overnight.
Okay.
The whole city.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a town, like, it's pretty big, I've heard. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a big city.
Been there a few times, yes. It's good sized.
And don't forget that between the hours of 3 a.m. and 7 a.m., there's not even going to be officers stationed at 6 local police stations there.
Huh.
How fun is that?
That's really fun if you're a criminal. If you're a criminal, it's as good as it gets, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to say that you're
pretty great.
If you're a criminal, you're definitely wanting to be a day sleeper because the action's going to be overnight.
Overnight, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, my gosh. This is a liberal dream, right? This is what they wanted.
Yes. This is exactly what
they wanted. Less cops, more people behind desks, answering calls in the middle of the night. Okay.
Yep.
Or answering calls for crimes now. They're only going to be doing some if it's an active something happened.
Yeah, it's got to be an emergency. Something's got to be going on right now.
I would love to see what they define as an emergency.
Yeah, I would too. Because it's going to be different for everybody, right? I lost my cat.
Right, cat up a tree.
Yeah.
What are we doing then?
Sorry, kitty.
Sorry, cat's dead. So don't worry about it. Weird things going on. Speaking of which, have you been following what's happening? I don't really follow the royal family, but
I don't either. But
this is weird.
I love a good mystery.
Yeah, people have been freaked out over Kate Middleton, the wife of William, right, Prince William.
Okay,
and
where is she?
She had some kind of surgery on her
abdominal
stomach. I don't know that they ever said what specifically, though.
No, they
right?
just say abdominal surgery.
Yeah, and so she wiped out her entire schedule because the
Until
royals,
June.
Show up for, I don't know, grocery store openings.
Wait, definitely not what they do, but okay.
Yeah, they cut the ribbons at grocery stores that are opening. That
and the
kind
shopping
of thing.
carts? Do they also do the shopping carts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. And so, it's an important gig. It really is.
Sure.
And she completely cleared her schedule till June, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. She would not be at the Troop of the Colors.
So people really were shocked that she hadn't been seen in public, so they finally did something. Mother's Day happened over the weekend in Britain. Theirs is a different day than ours. And so they sent out this photo for Mother's Day with her 3 kids. There was one that William supposedly took, and then there was one he was in. And people started noticing that the kids' fingers looked weird.
Issues.
That there were issues with the photo, like it had been photoshopped. The tile didn't match up. I mean, there was a bunch of different things.
All sorts of stuff. I don't know how many pictures you pulled from this.
Her hair was blurry.
Especially this one right here.
Okay.
Like her
missing fingers.
Charlotte's wrist is faded.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Weird.
And then her jacket or something behind there is.
Yeah, on the full picture, you'll see the boys' jackets don't align. The table doesn't align.
Okay.
There is green trees when they're not supposed to be any green trees.
I know the zipper is messed up on Kate's jacket.
Yep, the zipper's messed up. Now, here's a video.
So it was clearly photoshopped.
This is the best one. That face is not her face from recent. That's her Vogue picture. So, Joe, go ahead and play that VO.
What?
Check this out.
Oh, so they just took the Vogue picture?
They just took the Vogue picture and placed it on her face, which goes into the conspiracy theory of when she came out of the hospital with her mom, her face did not look the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is another.
So the AP, Reuters, all sorts have been saying they pulled the photo. They said the kill photo or whatever they called it, and so photo kill. There you go.
Yeah, they took it down. Because it was clearly photoshopped. And it was the royal family that did it.
Do we have the tweet?
We have the tweet. We have her apology. Because according to her, this was her.
Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused. I hope everyone celebrating had a very happy Mother's Day. Okay,
but what's the C? What's the C all about? Did Charlotte tweet this out under this account?
Because usually, if it's a person, social media person, it's signed by somebody.
Right.
Yes.
So that's not even Kate that tweeted
Unless
this
she misspelled her name with a C, right? Kate with a C instead of a K.
This made it worse.
It sure did.
Well, that's what people close to the family are saying. Wow. It was weird to begin with, but now it's even weirder. And you just made it worse.
And yesterday,
why are you trying to fake this stuff?
She was supposedly in a vehicle yesterday, and you could just barely see her through the window. Again, you're not helping.
Some people are saying she's dead.
Yep.
I mean, I hope not. There's so many rumors. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about a couple of them because it's pretty weird what's going on with the family.
God save the Queen, man.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Triple 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We were just talking about the Kate Middleton royal family controversy that's going on. This shows you why people jump to conclusions on the internet. Because you lie to them all the time. And they realize that. So when you're not filling in the blanks and when you're being mysterious, other people are going to fill in those blanks. Mm-hmm. So all kinds of, because she went in for surgery on her abdomen, okay, whatever, cleared her entire schedule. Now, what does the royal family have to do anyway?
He just told you.
Groceries.
Yeah, I said. They do a lot of grocery store openings. And there was apparently a new Safeway in Wales that was holding their grand opening in May.
Oh.
It was really super disappointed that Kate wasn't going to be there to cut the ribbon.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So they got pissed and they started rumorizing.
I think that's how this whole thing
is. That how
I
it
think
started? It was because of that?
Yeah, it's because of the Safeway. They don't have that many Safeways in England. And this wasn't England, obviously. It was Wales. So in Great Britain, it's a big deal when a Safeway opens.
Sure.
So, too bad. But anyway, I mean, I saw that they were even speculating she was dead, that William had killed one of their relatives with a shotgun, and one of their royals turned up dead, and I guess William killed him. I don't know. I mean, there's all kinds of weird stuff circulating now. So it would be nice if they'd come clean. Because then, again, you wonder, where does all this conspiracy stuff come from? Oh, I don't know.
QAnon.
I don't know. Yeah, QAnon. They must have a Great Britain chapter of QAnon over there. I mean, just tell people what's going on. If you're having facial reconstruction surgery or you're having a nip and tuck or whatever you're doing, just tell us about it. And then people don't have to fill in the blanks. Or if you're really seriously ill, tell people about it. Because, I mean, they're gonna come up with some theory, and they have. So what is the big prevailing theory now? What is she super sick, and that's why she's doing the photoshopping?
She was out and about yesterday, remember?
Oh, yeah, okay.
But the thing is that she's super sick. That's why she can't make it till the Troop of Colors in June.
The who?
The Troop of the Colors is where they do the whole big inspection of the Royal Guards and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The Trooping of the Color, with a U in color, by the way.
Yes, with a U.
Has marked the official birthday of the British sovereign for over 260 years. Neat.
It's exciting.
So
she will be available for that?
She will not be there.
She will not be there
They
now.
removed her, and that was another one. They
Wow.
removed her silently from the website, and then people connected the dots, the fake picture, the very obscure in her vehicle, you can't see her face, removing her from a June event.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
We're in March.
No kidding. Okay, that's okay.
So that's why they keep
Yeah, we're
feeding.
still 3 months away from that.
Yeah, they keep feeding to the conspiracy theory.
Something's up.
Wow.
That's June 15th.
That's weird.
And already taken off the docket more than 3 months out. Something big is up.
Yeah, something's up.
And think about this, though. Now, it was just her abdomen stuff they worked on, right?
Yes.
So what's with the face? Why did they have to put the Vogue cover on there? Something must be wrong with it.
Because that's how you get through the stomach, right? Through the face.
I think that's
is that how you go through the stomach?
Modern medicine is a marvel.
You go through the face, then you make a left by the esophagus,
Seriously,
boom, stomach.
Okay.
So in other words, and then we can wrap up the Royals talk for the next month.
Yeah.
So
or more.
Thank you. So that means that she is so ill, in theory. This means that she's so ill that it's a fact. You can't even fake it. You got to put her behind tinted windows. You got to put a different face on her from the Vogue shoot. That's not good.
Maybe she can't smile right now because of the surgery, and so they had to get an old smile, and that's what they chose. I mean, how do you not understand the fact that people are going to be hip to that in this day and age? They're scrutinizing everything you do. And if the fingers look different or if the things don't match up on the floor, I mean, everybody knows that by now.
AI pictures have told us that fingers and faces they can't do.
Yeah.
So what are people going to do?
AI can't handle that.
No.
Completely unrelated to this conversation. I was just doing a little search here on Twitter. This post is from March 2nd, 2021. Kate Middleton and Prince William urge people to get vaccinated for COVID-19.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's a theory already?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That it's vaccine related?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Because they were real big push. The whole royals, even the king now was a big push about that.
That's another thing that they're having. That they're
sausage fingers.
He is, right.
Very big sausage fingers.
The rumor is that their marriage is in trouble, or they're getting divorced, or they're separated.
Well, yeah,
or something,
because
right?
that's the thing, that she gets pregnant. So the allegation is that Prince William likes to step to the side and seek friendship with the neighbors.
Uh-oh, really?
With the neighbor's horse handler, which me and Jeffy always connect.
Oh, my gosh.
And
Horse
how
handler.
does Camille and Prince and King Charles
Horse
met.
handler.
So, yeah.
Crazy. Wow.
Chewing the fat, he covers all that. If you want more extensive research on this,
On the
me and
royal
Jeffy does
family.
it. Yes.
And look at
Chewing
this.
the fat.
Look at this. Queen and Prince Philip received vaccinations.
Yes, they did.
Boy.
January 2021. And what happened?
Cancer.
Okay.
Again, another completely unrelated.
Unrelated. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say
catching
that.
you up. How old was the queen when she passed away?
99, I want to say.
I mean, clearly taken in her prime, so...
She had another good 90 years in her, except for that darn vaccine.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right. The FAA audit of Boeing 737 MAX production has found apparently dozens of issues. The company failed 33 of 89 audits during an examination. That's probably not ideal.
Who's ready to fly?
Oh, man. Lead me to the 737 MAX. I'm going to jump on it. Now, former Boeing employee, who is the whistleblower, has been found dead.
Oh, no.
From a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head.
This is another weird one, Pat Gray.
Yes, it is. And this is why...
Connecting the dots.
Yep.
Yeah, because he was in the middle of testifying.
Yes, he was.
Going under depositions, right? And so he was getting ready to do day 3, and when he didn't show up for the deposition, they were like, hey, let's go look for him. And then they found him, I'm sure,
dead.
in his truck in the parking lot of the hotel. So I'm sure he wasn't on his way to testify and do some more whistleblowing.
No.
When he said, you know what? Nah.
This is it.
This world, man. Insane.
And again, then they wonder. I mean, these are all somewhat suspicious, right? I'm sure maybe they're just amazing coincidences.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Every single one of them, just an amazing coincidence.
What did John Barnett know?
He knew a lot.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, obviously he did.
Well, he got 2 days testimony before
he got too depressed, apparently.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, dang it.
Or he was vaccinated.
Or something. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know, do we?
Hey, that's why we need gun control.
Right.
Them guns are out of control right now. Look, they took a very young whistleblower out.
Yeah, he was 62. And
in the prime of his life.
So that is terrible, and that's a mystery that hopefully will get solved. But back to the larger issue of the planes. Who's getting on a plane? Like, this is getting out of control.
Dude, Russia just had a plane crashed. They killed 14.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you had the pilots falling asleep. The flight, where was that?
And weren't they asleep for half an hour? Both pilots?
Yes, they were.
Okay, so Tesla now getting into the market of
aircraft
autopilot all the way, man. I'm just kidding. I made that up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you could totally see that if they can get this car thing figured out.
And speaking of that and the strange death phenomenon, Angela Chow, shipping industry exec, and the sister-in-law of Mitch McConnell, right? She reportedly died on a Texas ranch after her Tesla sank in a pond.
All right. What is happening?
How often do we see that, though? Teslas sinking in ponds all over Texas.
Was the car
and the South.
Was it vaccinated, the vehicle?
The
in
vehicle?
Question? Do we know? No, but seriously, he even cited this when he did his little farewell speech, and we still get him for 3 more years. He even mentioned that.
So weird.
And it's like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I love this one because then the conspiracy is, okay, what did she know? Or what are they trying to say to Mitch? Because I know this is really far pushing it, but didn't he say he's not seeking re-election?
Right.
And then all of a sudden we have sister-in-law dead?
Yeah. So what are you alleging here?
Well, he
what
made his
blanks
announcement
are you filling in?
After she died.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So that maybe doesn't hold water.
It doesn't.
You have to consult your QAnon website for the latest information on that. Yeah. Meantime, you remember a time when vital medications didn't get rationed in the U.S.? That was for third world nations. Those are, non-developed country problems. We don't have them here. Well, except we do now. About 295 medications, including amoxicillin, are in really short supply right now. A lot of medications I use are in short supply right now. Had to wait 2 weeks for a medication just recently, as a matter of fact. That's why there's the Jace case. This comes in really handy if there's, supply problems, the supply chain is interrupted, or, maybe just for convenience. You don't want to go to the doctor, or you're out of town, you're away from your doctor and your pharmacy. This comes in really handy to have antibiotics on hand already. Things like amoxicillin. You can also get ivermectin as an add-on option. And, you can make this as a gift for somebody you love, and they can choose their own. They can customize it any way they want. It's the Jace case. Just go online, fill out a form, and then get your prescription. Life-saving medications delivered right to your door. The Jace case gives you peace of mind, convenience. I mean, it's awesome to have on hand. Go to jacemedical.com, enter the promo code PAT at checkout, and you'll get a discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at jacemedical.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
On that other story, we don't have the go ahead yet. Okay, so we'll just have to wait on that. We'll see. what happens there. Netflix's CEO Ted Sarandos addressed a recent backlash the platform has faced for continuing to stream Dave Chappelle's comedy specials. How dare they? How dare they put that man on? Even though he's doing anti-trans jokes. Is he? And if you don't like it, here's a hint. Don't watch it, which is basically what he's saying. He didn't cave to the pressure. I mean, that's really unusual in this day and age. Usually, the CEO, if he gets any kind of flack at all, okay, we'll pull it right off. Sorry, we apologize. And then we're going to do way better, and we're going to present all kinds of trans comedians now in his place. That's what they normally do.
No kidding.
But he said, keep in mind that we try to do a lot of variety because Netflix itself, people like some shows and not others. Mm-hmm. That's why we have so much to watch on Netflix. That's why we have so much to watch, because tastes are really diverse, and certainly within comedy. The point I was trying to make when people got angry was the idea that if you don't like that idea, switch it. Find another one. Find one you do like. What a concept. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's amazing common sense right there. And hard to believe from, somebody in the entertainment industry. But he's also confessed that Netflix has been talking to Chappelle for well over a year before he signed his massive 6-special deal with Netflix. Paid, get this, $20 million per special. Wow.
I can make that work.
I think yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see, for 6 specials, give you $120 million. What do you say? Okay. All right. Ow. All right. You twisted my arm. Ow, man.
So I want to believe that Netflix is standing their ground because they realize that the majority of Americans are tired of cancel culture. And they're tired
I'd
of this
like to believe
nonsense.
That too, but they just want to make money.
But I
from
think
this
it has
guy.
more to do with it. We just sunk $120 million into this. We're not going to be pulling it off of our platform. Thank you for playing.
Right. Jeez. Plus, he's driving subs. Get those subscriptions, and we'll just keep supporting you. How about that? Nice. Also, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban says Donald Trump would be better for the world than Joe Biden. Thank you. Yes. Not exactly an outrageous statement there. The two leaders met over the weekend at Trump's Florida property, Mar-a-Lago, where they discussed a wide range of issues affecting Hungary and the United States, including the paramount importance of strong and secure borders to protect the sovereignty of each nation. Man, if there's one nation people are trying to sneak into, it's Hungary, isn't it?
Well,
the clamoring for Hungarian food, shelter, protection, it's incredible.
I think, hold on, before I... Do they? I think that was an issue. I don't know if it still is, but I know when Russia first started invading Ukraine, that shared border became an issue.
Yes. I mean, they do have their issues. Orban said, here in America, the campaign's in full swing and indeed is rushing ahead. It's up to Americans to make their own decision. And it's up to us Hungarians to frankly admit it would be better for the world and better for Hungary, too, if President Donald Trump were to return to power.
Orban's just one of the few politicians that's willing to be honest.
Yes, that's right. And he made the point. There'd be no war today if he were still president of the United States. I think he's right on that. Russia would never have gone into Ukraine if Donald Trump were in office. Well, he certainly didn't when he was, so it's hard to argue with. You know who he's meeting with today and down in Mar-a-Lago? Orban asked. Actually,
who is
Joe Biden? Had asked that about Donald Trump because he's pissed that Viktor Orban.
Oh, is that supposed to be a burn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I see a future where we defend democracy, not diminish it. But Donald Trump is meeting with the Hungarian dictator.
What? What? No.
It's so bizarre. He stated flatly that supposedly Viktor Orban doesn't think democracy works. Well, it doesn't. You know who else thought that? Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, George Washington. I don't know. Maybe these names aren't familiar to you.
Yeah, these are kind of some obscure references you're making.
Benjamin Franklin. That's why they didn't create a democracy here. They created a republic. The worst. Man, it's one thing after another with these people. And, by the way, J.K. Rowling is in trouble again because she keeps speaking out about the gender situation. So the trans community is just not happy with her right now. She trolled them again with a Mother's Day because, she lives in England. So she had a Mother's Day message on Sunday, which is when they celebrated it. Happy Birthing Parent Day to all whose large gametes were fertilized.
Oh, no.
Resulting in small humans whose sex was assigned by doctors, making mostly lucky guesses.
That is awesome.
So people got pissed at her for doing that.
Oh, well.
And then she posted, devastated and bewildered that my embrace of inclusive language has angered its most enthusiastic devotees.
That is awesome.
So let me just say, Happy Mother's Day to all females who've raised children. That's great that she's just stirring the pot, just poking the hornet's nest. So great. And here's a person who is super liberal, by the way. After the fact, after the super success of the Harry Potter series, then she tried to throw in the wokeism that Dumbledore was gay the whole time, and that's what she meant for it. Okay, well, now that you've made your money...
she regrets that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder, too. But, she was not exactly conservative in her ideology, but, man, they hate her guts now because she's not towing the line on this transgender situation.
But just think of that. That's a crazy conservative point of view to think that mothers are women.
Yeah, right. And that's what she's offended by. Right. She's tired of the nonsense that surrounds that whole thing. Mm-hmm. Men can't give birth, okay? They can't, they won't, it'll never happen. I mean, I don't care what you do to the man. You can cut off his unit, you can, use other tissue on his body to make some different unit if you want. It's still not going to work. And you're still not going to have a baby.
It sure is aesthetically pleasing when you do that too.
Oh,
when you take off
there's nothing more beautiful,
all the skin off your arm.
Yeah, and put it somewhere else on your body.
Yeah, that's
it's beautiful.
It's
I'm sure.
Good look.
Not that I've ever seen the look, but I'm sure it's lovely.
Yeah,
you don't want to see it.
No, I don't want to see it.
And then the scars right across the chest.
That's great.
And you don't regret being sterile for the rest of your life either.
Nobody does. Has there ever been a person that's regretted that surgery?
I don't know.
I don't think we've ever heard of it.
We should do some research on that and see if that's ever been a thing for somebody.
Yeah, we should. Because I think they're immediately happy the second the cuts begin on their body.
Yep.
And the second you start changing their biology and the natural process of the body.
No regrets.
They love it. Mm-hmm. They love it. And they're happily ever after. So that's great. So I won't hear it. I won't hear of anybody disparaging. And I don't want parents to even know if their children want to do that. They don't even have the right to know.
That's the thing. It's such a good way to get your headspace corrected.
Right.
To start chopping off body parts and
don't even tell parents about it.
And then creating body parts.
Change their name.
And then undergoing painful treatments.
Right.
And again, causing the sterility issues for the rest of your life. But at least you're happy, right?
Oh, man, they're so happy.
And it's so important that you're happy that we're not even going to include your parents in because you can't share the happy.
No.
You don't want to share the happiness and the relief that, oh, my gosh, I finally have this fake manufactured man part or this woman part and all sorts of scars and whatnot. Whatever makes you happy.
There are only two genders.
Oh, wow. Who was that bigoted, hateful hate monger?
That's not acceptable.
Who mongered in hate?
In fact, you probably just got us deplatformed from YouTube for playing that.
Probably.
Everybody knows there's 72 genders. Or 100.
That's old thing. Yeah, it's in the hundreds.
Ish.
It's in the hundreds.
It's in the hundreds.
Yeah, you're
now.
right. You're right.
So.
Sorry. I think 72 was on the top of my head.
That's the virgins.
Oh, that's the virgins.
Yeah, that you're confusing how many virgins,
That's the virgins.
you get. Yeah.
No, I forgot what the discussion was on Twitter, but somebody made the point yesterday, and I forgot what it was. It was something about God and religion or something, and they're like, the same people that mock a belief in God believe there are 72 genders. You know, it's just like...
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The same people who are all about science can't define what a woman is. Right. Fantastic.
And remember this was said by Levine.
But I have no regrets, because if I transitioned when I was young, and I wouldn't have my children. I can't imagine a life without my children.
What?
Wait a minute. What? Wait. He was a father. He had children.
Yep, he had children.
As
and he
a
waited.
dude.
Yep.
So
what?
It
didn't even make
would have
sense.
had regrets if you had done it as a child, which is the only point we're making.
Yeah.
If you're an adult and you want to do it, go for it.
Go
Don't
ahead.
do it to children, you freaks.
Amazing. All right. We got overtime coming up to share with you. And be right back here tomorrow. Jeffy will chew the fat with us.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.